The betrayal. Commander Alex Mercer paced the command center, his eyes darting over the hollow displays that flickered with real-time data from across the galaxy. The usual hum of activity was replaced by a tense silence, broken only by the occasional clatter of boots on metal floors. The room, once a bastion of efficiency, now felt like a ticking bomb. "Commander Mercer, you need to see this," Lieutenant Maya Tran called out from her station, her voice strained but resolute. Alex strode over to her, his brow furrowing as he glanced at the screen. The holographic display projected a live feed from the Galactic Council's chamber, a room of polished chrome and opulence that now seemed more like a theater of arrogance. A council member, draped in ceremonial robes, was dismissing Earth's most recent distress signal with a wave of his hand. "They're laughing at us, Alex," Maya said, her fingers flying over her console as she replayed the transmission. "They're treating our warnings like a joke." Alex's jaw clenched. The Council had long been an ally, but recent whispers suggested they were weaving a web of betrayal. The sight before him confirmed his worst fears. The Galactic Council, once Earth's protector, was now complicit in a dangerous conspiracy. Dr. Evelyn Carter, a brilliant scientist with a reputation for uncovering inconvenient truths, approached. Her face was pale, eyes wide with concern. "I've decrypted part of their intercepted communications. It's worse than we thought. The Council is aligning with the Vorthax, a hostile alien faction planning to use Earth as a battleground." Alex's gaze hardened. "Then our fears were justified. They're setting us up to be the sacrificial lamb." Maya nodded grimly. "If the Vorthax invade, they'll obliterate everything in their path. We need to act now." The room fell into a heavy silence as the gravity of the situation sank in. Alex knew the stakes were high. Earth's defenses had been bolstered, but facing a combined threat from both the Council and the Vorthax was beyond any challenge they had anticipated. "We need to find out the full extent of their plan," Alex said, his voice cold and determined. "We're going to investigate this further. Prepare a team for a covert operation. We need to gather evidence that can expose the Council's betrayal and prepare Earth for what's coming." Evelyn stepped forward, her scientific expertise crucial. "I'll help with the data extraction. We'll need every bit of intelligence we can get." Alex nodded. "Good. We're running out of time. If we don't act quickly, it'll be too late." The team sprang into action, the command center buzzing with renewed urgency. Alex took a moment to watch the holographic feed of the Council chamber, now showing their high-ranking members in animated discussion. Their laughter seemed almost sinister, a stark contrast to the gravity of the situation they were orchestrating. As the team prepared for their covert mission, Alex's mind raced. The betrayal was not just a political maneuver, it was a direct threat to humanity's survival. He had always been a soldier, but this was different. This was about saving not just lives, but the very essence of humanity's place in the galaxy. The final preparations were made with precise efficiency, each member of the team aware of the stakes involved. The command center's lights dimmed, casting long shadows over the room as the team readied themselves for the perilous journey ahead. Alex took one last look at Earth's serene, blue sphere on the main display, a stark reminder of what was at stake. "Let's get to work," Alex said firmly, his voice resolute. "For Earth. For humanity." With that, the team moved out, leaving the command center behind. The tension in the air was palpable, a prelude to the storm that was about to unfold. Alex's heart pounded with a mix of fear and determination. The path ahead was fraught with danger, but it was a path they had no choice but to tread. As the team embarked on their mission, the first chapter of their fight against betrayal and impending doom began, a fight that would test their resolve and define their legacy. The command center had transformed into a hive of activity. Alex Mercer's team had spent hours preparing for their covert mission, but the weight of their task still felt heavy. As the last of the equipment was checked and the final strategies were discussed, the hum of machinery and the clatter of boots filled the air, a testament to the gravity of their mission. "Commander, we're ready to go," Maya Tran reported, her voice steady but tinged with an edge of anticipation. Her tactical gear gleamed under the harsh lights of the command center, the reflection a stark reminder of the impending danger. Alex nodded, his gaze steady. Let's make sure we have everything we need. Evelyn, any updates on the decryption? Dr. Evelyn Carter, engrossed in her holodisplay, looked up with a furrowed brow. I've managed to decrypt some of their encrypted files. It's clear that the Council is orchestrating a full-scale invasion. We need to get this information to Earth's leaders as soon as possible. Understood, Alex said, taking a deep breath. Maya, assemble the team. We leave in 10. The team assembled in the briefing room, their faces set in determined lines. Alex's second-in-command, Lieutenant Maya Tran, was a veteran of covert operations. Her calm demeanor was a reassuring presence amidst the tension. Evelyn, the scientist, carried a small, rugged data pad, the lifeline to their mission. The weight of the encrypted files they carried was almost tangible. As the team boarded their stealth shuttle, the cockpit bathed in blue light from the control panels, Maya's voice cut through the murmur of final preparations. We're approaching the Council facility. In 10 minutes, we'll be on the ground. Stay sharp. The shuttle's descent was smooth, but Alex could feel the intensity mounting. The Galactic Council's facility loomed ahead, its sleek, metallic surface gleaming ominously against the backdrop of a distant nebula. The shuttle touched down silently, blending into the shadows. The team disembarked, moving with practiced stealth. The facility's exterior was heavily fortified, a fortress of glistening steel and reinforced glass. Alex led the way, his mind focused on the task at hand. Every step they took was measured, every sound carefully controlled. The stakes were high, and any misstep could mean disaster. They entered through a maintenance hatch, bypassing the security systems with skillful precision. The corridors inside were stark and sterile, illuminated by the cold glow of overhead lights. The team moved swiftly, their path taking them deeper into the facility's heart. At a junction, Maya held up her hand, signaling for a halt. We're approaching a security checkpoint. We'll need to bypass it quietly. Evelyn nodded, pulling out a compact device from her gear. With deft movements, she interfaced with the security system, her fingers dancing over the controls. The checkpoint's lights flickered, then turned green, indicating their path was clear. As they continued, the tension among the team was palpable. Each member was focused, their senses heightened. The mission's urgency was underscored by the soft hum of machinery and the distant echoes of footsteps. Alex's heart raced, not just from the adrenaline but from the realization of what was at stake. Finally, they reached the data core room. Evelyn's expertise came into play as she worked to extract and copy critical files from the core's mainframe. The room was a cavern of technology, filled with blinking lights and whirring servers. This will take a few minutes, Evelyn said, her voice steady but urgent. Keep an eye out for patrols. Alex and Maya positioned themselves by the door, scanning for any signs of activity. The facility seemed eerily quiet, a silence that only heightened their anxiety. Every sound, every shadow, seemed to be magnified. Suddenly, the faint sound of footsteps echoed down the corridor. Maya's eyes widened. We've got company. They're coming this way. Alex's mind raced. Evelyn, hurry up. We need to be out of here in less than 5 minutes. Evelyn's fingers flew over the controls, her focus unyielding. Almost done. Just a few more seconds. The footsteps grew louder, closer. Alex and Maya tensed, ready for a confrontation. The weight of the moment pressed down on them, their breaths shallow as they prepared for the worst. With a final beep, Evelyn pulled the data pad free. We're done. Let's move. The team retraced their steps, moving quickly but silently. The air was thick with the scent of metal and the distant hum of machinery. As they exited the facility and boarded their shuttle, Alex's heart pounded with a mix of relief and anticipation. As the shuttle ascended, leaving the council facility behind, Alex took one last look at the imposing structure. They had accomplished their mission, but the true challenge lay ahead. They now had the evidence needed to expose the Council's betrayal and defend Earth. The first chapter of their struggle was over, but the real battle had just begun. The shuttle's engines hummed softly as it glided through the void, the distance between the Galactic Council's facility and Earth shrinking with each passing second. Inside, Alex Mercer's team was silent, the gravity of their mission weighing heavily on their shoulders. The holographic display flickered with data, the stolen files glowing ominously. Evelyn Carter, her face illuminated by the glow of the data pad, was absorbed in analyzing the intercepted files. Her fingers danced over the screen, translating encrypted messages into a coherent narrative. Alex observed her, his mind racing with the implications of their findings. "This data is explosive," Evelyn said, her voice tinged with both excitement and dread. "The Council's complicity in the Vorthax invasion plan is laid out in detail. They've been orchestrating this for months, manipulating every aspect to ensure Earth's destruction." Maya Tran, who had been keeping watch, glanced at the screen. "So, we've got the evidence we need. What's our next move?" Alex's gaze was fixed on the stars outside the shuttle's viewport. "We need to get this information to the highest levels of Earth's government. We also need to prepare for the Council's response. They'll likely realize we've stolen their data and will come after us." The shuttle's comm system crackled to life, a message from Command Central interrupting their conversation. "Commander Mercer, we've detected an incoming transmission from the Council. It appears they've become aware of the breach." Alex's eyes narrowed. "Prepare for possible interception. Maya, get us into stealth mode. Evelyn, continue to decrypt any remaining data." The shuttle's lights dimmed as it shifted into stealth mode, becoming a ghost in the vast expanse of space. The team settled into their roles, each member focused on their task. Maya expertly navigated the shuttle's systems, her hands moving with practiced ease. Evelyn's concentration was palpable as she worked through the encrypted files, her brow furrowed in determination. Minutes later, the comm system chimed with a new message. "Commander Mercer, the Council has issued a high-priority alert. They're preparing a fleet for immediate deployment. It seems they're closing in on your location." A chill ran down Alex's spine. "How much longer until we're within range of Earth?" Maya's fingers flew over the controls. "We're about 10 minutes out. If we can avoid detection for that long, we'll be able to deliver the evidence and warn Earth's defenses." Alex nodded, trying to push aside the growing tension. "Evelyn, any new developments?" Evelyn glanced up from her data pad. "I've uncovered details about a specific operation, Project Inferno. It's a plan to deploy Vorthax forces covertly through wormholes. If successful, they could strike Earth before we even realize what's happening." Maya's eyes widened. "Wormhole deployment? That's beyond our current defense capabilities." Alex's jaw tightened. "That's why we need to act quickly. Once we're within range, we'll transmit the data to Earth and then prepare for immediate evacuation." The shuttle shook slightly as it encountered a brief meteor shower, the turbulence a stark reminder of the dangers lurking in space. Alex steadied himself, his focus unyielding. A sudden beat from the console interrupted the tension. "Commander, we have an incoming signal from Earth Command. They've detected the Council's fleet approaching." Alex's heart raced. "Prepare to transmit the data. We need to get this information to Earth before it's too late." Evelyn quickly formatted the data for transmission, while Maya prepared the shuttle systems for a quick getaway. Alex's thoughts raced as he considered their dwindling options. The Council's fleet was closing in, and their mission's success hinged on their ability to deliver the evidence and escape undetected. The transmission began, the data streaming to Earth Command. Alex watched the progress bar with bated breath, the minutes ticking by like hours. Outside, the Council's fleet became visible, a menacing armada of sleek warships and ominous dreadnoughts. "Transmission complete," Evelyn said, her voice a mix of relief and anxiety. "Earth Command has the data. We need to leave now." Maya engaged the shuttle's engines, maneuvering them into a rapid evasive trajectory. The shuttle lurched forward, the stars outside streaking into lines as they entered hyperspace. Alex glanced back at the Council's fleet, their ships fading into the distance. The team exhaled collectively, the immediate threat temporarily behind them. But Alex knew this was only the beginning. The Council would not take kindly to their theft, and the Vorthax invasion was imminent. As the shuttle emerged from hyperspace, Earth's blue and green sphere came into view. The sight was both a beacon of hope and a reminder of the battle ahead. Alex's resolve hardened. They had accomplished their primary goal, but the real fight was just beginning. The evidence was in Earth's hands, but now they had to prepare for the inevitable fallout. Alex's gaze met that of his team, their expressions a mix of exhaustion and determination. They had taken the first step in a fight for humanity's survival, and they were ready to see it through to the end. The Earth's atmosphere was a veil of blue and white, a fragile shield in the face of cosmic threats. Inside the command center of Earth's High Command, tension was palpable as the team prepared for the impending battle. The stolen data had been transmitted successfully, but the real challenge was yet to come. The Galactic Council's fleet was on its way, and the Vorthax invasion loomed closer by the hour. Alex Mercer stood at the center of the command room, his gaze fixed on the massive display screen that showcased the incoming fleet. Around him, the bustling activity of soldiers and officers creating a symphony of urgency and determination. The command center was a hive of activity, with officers shouting orders and technicians working feverishly at their stations. "We have confirmation from the Council's fleet," Lieutenant Patel said, her voice tinged with stress. "They've entered Earth's orbit and are preparing for a full-scale assault. We have mere minutes before they strike." Alex clenched his fists, his thoughts racing. "Prepare all defensive measures. Activate planetary shields and scramble every available fighter squadron. We need to be ready for a full-scale attack." Evelyn Carter, now working alongside Earth's top analysts, was monitoring the decrypted data. Her face was a mask of concentration as she sifted through the torrent of information. "Commander, the data we sent reveals the Council's strategy in detail. They're planning to breach our defenses with concentrated plasma strikes and deploy Vorthax troops through the wormholes they've prepared." Maya Tran, overseeing the command center's tactical systems, nodded. "We've got to use this intel. Deploy countermeasures to disrupt their plasma strike vectors and fortify our defenses around the predicted breach points." As the command center worked to implement the new defense protocols, Alex's communicator buzzed. It was an encrypted message from an old contact in the fleet, Captain Jameson. "Mercer, it's Jameson. We've got a situation. The Council's fleet has deployed advanced cloaking technology. We're having trouble tracking their movements, and our sensors are being jammed." Alex's jaw tightened. "Can you provide a location estimate? We've managed to get a rough position. They're concentrating their forces in the northern quadrant of the orbit. I suggest focusing our defense efforts there." "Understood. I'll redirect our resources," Alex replied. "Good luck out there." The team worked in synchronized chaos as Alex's commands flowed through the command center. He glanced at the monitors, seeing the shield generators powering up and the fighter squadrons launching into the void. The space above Earth was transforming into a battlefield. The first wave of plasma strikes hit the planetary shields with a deafening roar, the energy pulses rippling across the sky like thunderclaps. The shields held, but the force of the impact was enough to make the command center shudder. "Shields at 80%, an officer reported. "We're holding, but the pressure is immense." Evelyn's voice cut through the din. "We need to deploy our own counter-strikes now. Disrupt their plasma cannons and buy us some time." Alex nodded. "All available fighter squadrons, focus on the Council's fleet's plasma cannons. Engage with full firepower. We need to disrupt their assault and create an opening." The view outside the command center's viewport was a mesmerizing display of chaos. Fighter jets streaked across the sky, engaging in high-speed dogfights with the Council's ships. Explosions lit up the darkened void, casting an eerie glow on the command center's walls. Maya's voice was strained but resolute. "We're seeing a breach in their cloaking field. It's an opportunity. We can target their command ship and deal a significant blow." Alex's eyes met hers. "Do it. Focus all our remaining firepower on that command ship. We need to weaken their coordination." As the fighters converged on the Council's command ship, a well-placed strike hit its engines, causing a visible shudder in the vessel. The command ship's responses became erratic, and its fleet seemed momentarily disorganized. "We've got a window!" Evelyn shouted. "The Vorthax deployment has been delayed. We have time to press our advantage." Alex took a deep breath, feeling a surge of hope amidst the chaos. "Push forward. We need to force the Council into retreat and buy Earth more time." The battle raged on, the intensity of the conflict pushing every soldier and officer to their limits. The command center screens flashed with reports of progress and setbacks, each moment a critical decision in the fight for survival. As the battle reached its climax, a sudden explosion erupted from the northern quadrant. The Council's command ship, severely damaged, veered off course. The remaining fleet began a hasty retreat, their formation breaking apart under the relentless assault from Earth's forces. The command center erupted in cheers, a mixture of relief and exhaustion. Alex watched as the Council's fleet began to withdraw, their ships vanishing into the dark expanse of space. "Status report," Alex demanded, his voice firm despite his fatigue. "We've successfully repelled the attack," an officer reported. "The Vorthax invasion has been delayed, and the Council's fleet is retreating." Evelyn looked up from her console, her face pale but resolute. "The data we provided was crucial. Earth's defense is held, and we've bought significant time to prepare for any further threats." Alex took a moment to process the victory. They had achieved a critical win, but the war was far from over. The Galactic Council's wrath would surely come, and the threat of the Vorthax invasion still loomed large. "We've won this battle," Alex said, looking at his weary but victorious team. "But we need to stay vigilant. The Council will regroup, and we must be ready for whatever comes next." As the command center settled into a post-battle calm, Alex knew that the fight for Earth's survival was only beginning. But for now, they had achieved a crucial victory, a testament to their resolve and unity in the face of overwhelming odds.